Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Aurora C# Uncut series. Today we're going to be going through episode 3, and we're going to get right into it very soon. I do have a few things. Again, thanks for the support, it's been really great, and you guys were commenting a ton last episode about all that's happening, so we're going to have an overview of what's going on, and the one thing that I'll be using to make that overview is a thing called Aurora Electrons. Now, Aurora Electrons is this great software that is basically a utility to Aurora. It doesn't do any interfere with the database, it just reads from it. And it makes it very simple for us to be able to see exactly what is going to be happening and when that's going to be happening. So there will be a download description in the link below. I did not create this. This is created by someone on the forums, and you can go and download it and use it in your files. The only limitation with it is that you have to save to get the actual data, because it only reads a database, and database only updates every time you save the game. So, as we currently know, if we have a look at minerals, here we go, we don't really have a lot. We only have 48 different places with minerals so far. And people were commenting on that. Now, Mercury does have some. Mercury has, as we can see here, quite a few. I'm just going to make sure we open that a little bit more so that we can see. So, Mercury, as we can see, has a lot of iridium, boronite, and corundium, or some corundium, and then also neutronium. So, we'll be able to mine that pretty nicely. On other planets, we don't really have anything too significant, and our galaxite reserves are not going to be doing too well. Venus, as we can see here, this is Venus, has some galaxite, but not really anything too much. In terms of thorium, we have Saturn, which we can see here. Saturn, this is potential, any ground potential as well, all that stuff, which is really nice. I mean, look at this, is just amazing. Like, you can even look at all the different systems, uranium coronite, all this great stuff. We gotta have a spreadsheet for my spreadsheet. So yeah, we got a ton of thorium here on Saturn. So we should be completely fine fuel-wise. It's just that other minerals are going to be definitely a concern. And realistically, that's going to mean we're going to need to expand out of Sol very, very quickly, because otherwise, if we do not expand out of Sol, we are going to run out of stuff to be able to properly build the Navy and the things that we want to. So, let's have a look at our colonization efforts. Right now, we have Mercury and Luna. Mercury currently sitting at population of 11.65 million people, 11.69 million people. Luna sitting at 12.42 million people. It's currently doing a lot of our financial work for us. Mercury is currently mining up that lovely corundium, getting all that iridium and boronite and neutronium. And we're going to continue to send more and more mines here as the population grows. I also want to start terraforming Mercury. Now, I'm not sure that we can actually get the temperature down to something that will be more habitable, because Mercury is just so insanely hot. We would need to bring the temperature down by, 400 degrees Celsius, and I'm not sure that can be achieved. We can probably lower the temperature somewhat to make it a little bit more habitable, but actually getting it down to something that would be classified as colony cost 0, I'm not too sure, but we can obviously try. Actually, we can use Aurora Electrons. My bad, we can use it. I'll just open it up again because I closed it by mistake. We can actually use it, I think, to check the terraforming capabilities there. So I'm gonna open that up. There we go. Grab our game, and yeah, we also have this overview of hills here. We can see commercial shipyards, jump drive, and stuff we've done. Gonna take quite a while for a lot of these. These will take like 5 years. This can be 300 days until we have this upgraded. So habitability. So Mercury, currently we could, or is that saying that we can terraform it? So yeah, so there we go. We have a terraforming blueprint here. So it's going to take about 30 years. Set water vapor to small amount, set oxygen to 0.1, and then set maximum for Gesium. So overall, this would take, 30, we're looking at around 80 years to terraform Mercury into a habitable planet. So that's going to be a problem. But if we have a look at Mars, it would take us a significantly shorter time to be able to terraform Mars. And we should be able to pretty easily do it if we did want to. If we have a look at, if we have, it would take 32 years. So 66 years for that, 71 years for Mercury. So yeah, that's hydrolat minerals here. So that's interesting. In terms of warnings, we have everything looking good. So yeah, I'm just gonna close that off, and then we can start actually getting into the game. So research is going well. We have shipyards on the way, construction factories being produced, research doing okay here. That'll take a long time to get all of these things sorted out for us. And we're going to need to get those things sorted out, otherwise we'll not be able to properly advance. Taxes looking good. Our economic situation's in a really good shape right now. Speaking of our economic situation, could we take any resources from here? Is that really worth it? I don't really think so. Yeah, I don't really think so. So let's just advance some time, as we need to get time moved out. I also want to look at getting some ground forces at some point. But yeah, we're going to continue to just colonize Mercury. Okay, we're going to go and survey Uranus, which is going to be good. I would like to know if there's any thorium there that we could use. Let's have a look. No, there is not. That is definitely unfortunate. Complete overhauls, very, very good. How is Mercury doing, by the way? Can we send another 40 mines? Yes, we can. So I'm going to order our cargo group to begin loading mines up and then hauling them over. So mine to Mercury, unload, and then refuel from Colony. We're gonna put in an order to do that 4 more times. That's 40 mines moved over. That'll take a month. There we go. And we've completed that order, so now Mercury has 120 mines, which means that it's now mining 4,464 tons. It will deplete all the corundium in 242 years. Speaking of mines, I want to put an order in for 200 more mines, because we're going to need them if we are going to expand into the outer solar system, outer reaches of the galaxy. Looks like we're nearly done with the surveying of most of the solar system here. Neptune's currently being surveyed, Triton, all that good stuff. And we'll be able to know exactly what we get out of Neptune. I don't think we got anything. That is unfortunate. Let me have a look at the mineral situation. So minerals. Phoebe. Oh, interesting. Titan. Oh, Titan. Yeah, I forget. Titan doesn't have anything. Okay. Triton has 1.8 million tons of magnesium and accessibility 0.8. That is a possible colony we could establish there if we didn't need the magnesium. How is our current magnesium doing? We have 143,000 with 16,000 stockpile. As some of you may or may not know, magnesium is used for production of research facilities. And as you can tell from our current research speed, we're going to need that, because otherwise we're going to have issues. We need as many laboratories as possible to actually be able to have a decently fast research. We finished our continual capacity. Very, very good. Let's set that to slipway. And then we're going to go through here. So thinking about like our exploration vessel, I'm thinking of making a few things. The first thing I'm going to be making is going to be a survey corvette. A survey frigate. So how I'm going to classify things is going to be 3,000 tons corvette, 3,000 tons to 1,000 tons is going to be corvette, 1,000 tons is fast attack craft, and 500 tons is fighter. 3,000 tons, 5,000 tons is going to be a frigate. So 5,000, 6,250 around there. Then 7,000 tons, 7,500 tons. That's going to be around where a frigate would be. So no, my bad, yeah. So 5,000 tons to 6,000, that'll be a destroyer. Then 7,000 to 8,000, that's going to be around where a frigate will be. Heavy frigate, 10,000. Cruisers will start around like 12,500 tons to 15,000 tons. Then carriers and battleships will start at like 20,000 tons and stuff like that. So we're going to need a 7,000 ton-ish vessel for that. And that means we're going to need research. And to get that research, we're going to need to wait a little bit. Are we only going to have one jump point? That would be very interesting if there was only a single jump point out of Sol. That'd be quite good and bad at the same time. Okay, no, we have a second jump point. Okay, good. They're pretty far away, though, from the inner solar system, which is interesting to note. Is unable to carry out. That means the Tanner should be able to now return home. So refuel, resupply, begin overhaul, and we're going to just turn you off there. There we go. Contain gravitational, and we've completed our gravitational survey. So Sol only has 2 jump points. Very interesting. Let's remove that, and let's send that straight back to the colony, and we'll begin overhaul as well. We're probably going to scrap these fighters just because we don't really need them anymore once Sol has been fully surveyed. So yeah, we'll just wait. How's Mercury doing? We're continuing population increases, and Mercury is doing it just great. 120 mines currently. I'm thinking we'll put on, how many mines do we have on Earth right now? We have 280 mines, so we'll put on another 80 mines. I think that'll be decent. So I'm just gonna send all 80. There'll be some inefficiencies at the start, but it'll just mean there's less clicks for us to actually do here. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to repeat that 9 times to get 80. There we go. That'll take 2 months. There we go. How is our fuel harvesting and everything else going? So Saturn fuel harvesters currently mining, currently refueling, annual fuel production 3.4 million liters. Our mineral transport group is currently loading. He's loaded 25,000 tons of resources. So he's got some neutronium, some boronite, corundium, and iridium. And that's half of his cargo capacity so far. So he'll wait to load the rest of it and then move that up. In terms of our Empire mining, we're actually mining a ton of resources right now, which is really good. Uranium is not looking too good, though. And we're going to need more uranium to actually afford what we're going to need to afford. So, let's have a look here. I need uranium, please. Let's put in at least 1 million liters, minimum, not million liters, million tons. So, 10,100, 1 million. Venus is the only one, so we really have no proper uranium deposits, and that is significantly concerning here. Group Alpha has finished. Now Mercury has 200 mines, and is producing significant tax income for us. Now, obviously, if we would be able to lower the planetary colony cost, we could get more workers. But for now, 200 mines on this world will be good enough. That's 6,700 tons. I want someone who's good at just mining. I need more mining set up correctly here. Okay, so jump drive efficiency 4 should be complete somewhat soon, which will be definitely nice. Getting that done will be very important, as we'll need jump drive efficiency to actually be able to leave the solar system. The Moana wave has completed her overhaul, very good. Okay, we'll complete that overhaul as well. That is nice. Are there any other places we would like to colonize? Mars, we can just get a colony onto Mars. That would be good, just to get population growing there and economy moving. In terms of other worlds, there really isn't any world I would particularly want to colonize. Like, we could colonize like Titan or Io, but like they're so high colony cost, that's not really worth it for us. In terms of infrastructure, let's start moving over some infrastructure. I'm going to move over. We're going to move over this much infrastructure. Unload on. No, I don't want to move on to Mercury. I'd like to move on to Mars. Refuel. We're going to do this. We can carry 80 infrastructure, so let's do 4 passes. And I'm going to tell, once we have enough workers, I'm going to tell them that Mercury's a self-sustaining colony, because we can't afford any sending more mines to Mercury yet because of Earth's economic situation. So we're going to wait on that until we can start building some more mines. In terms of industry, we should have our commercial shipyards. And I'm going to bump mines up a little bit more here because we can afford to do so. Research facilities will also be done. I'm going to add on another 5 to this because we're going to need it. Construction factories are also continuing production, so everything's speeding up significantly. Jump drive efficiency 4 was completed. Jump drive efficiency 5 is really what I would like, but that might not be possible. So we'll see what we can achieve with that. Okay, so now, how's Mercury doing? Mercury now has enough workers, so we're going to put this on stable so that they don't send more people. And now Mars should be able to get a nice population going, so that we have all of these people, because population is really the thing that's going to hold us back later on. So we want to spread out as much as possible to get as much population growing for humanity. We also have a ton of maintenance capacity, which is very interesting. Yeah, so speaking of maintenance capacity and build points, we do have still 27,736 build points. I'm going to spend the next 7,000 on at least like survey stuff, commercial things, stuff like that. But the next 20,000, I'm going to kind of hold that for our military vessels once we start our design of those and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to hold on that just yet. Okay, continuing fuel harvesting. Fuel is looking very, very good from what I can gather. You know, we currently have 72.3 million in reserve. We're not even refining it because we have that fuel harvester on Saturn. If we have a look at that specifically, how much can we refine? So we produce a bit more on Earth if we were to refine it compared to what we have in Saturn. But it's not really worth it to me to begin to use the mineral sodium, because the mineral sodium can be used on things like engines and components and missiles and things that I would actually want and need. Compared to the fuel sodium, which you get from gas giants and is automatically refined. Okay, I'm going to bring up again Aurora electrons real quick here. Let's bring that up, because I'm going to save, so it actually saves it to the database so that we can see, just to make sure everything's on track. So we'll have those military academies done. Research, terraforming module, and beam fire control will be done somewhat soon. That's like 2,000 days. That's a bit working ridiculous. We'll have to up our research into that, but terraforming module will be done soon. So then we can start building some terraformers, which will be nice. In terms of this, we have no warnings, and everything is looking good. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's just hide that for now. Okay, so we complete military academies on Earth, which is very, very good. In terms of research, I'm actually going to dedicate... we need a better power propulsion person. We do have a better power propulsion person. In fact, a lot better, so we should use that person. So I'm going to assign that to new, and I'm going to have them work on that. So that's 25%, and we can have 25 labs. Sensors and fire controls, I'm not too concerned. I primarily would just like, I specifically would just like to get beam fire control up, as well as also our tracking speed capability, because 2,000 kilometers per second is not very good. Yeah, so I think my idea is I'm gonna go railguns for our weapons early on, and then we're gonna switch into lasers and like gauss and stuff. I also want to use missiles, so there's a lot of weapons I want to use, but for starters, we're gonna be using railguns because they're cheap. They do well for low tech, and we are going to be in low tech. Yeah, maintenance supplies, we can turn those off. Wow, we really have no stockpile of that. That is kind of an issue. Okay, well, more mines are on the way. More widow mines are no more mines are on the way, so we should be fine. For that. Okay, terraforming module now complete, so we can start building our terraforming station. So Cheshire, that works for me. Terraforming station. Make sure we have no armor on that. We want to remove the fuel, and then we want to add in our terraforming modules. So we're gonna add in, I think, 8. That's 8 modules. Let's go for a 10. So that gives us 250,000 tons total. 10 modules. Oh, allows me tagged. That's 5,000. What does this actually cost? 2,600 uranium. We cannot afford that. We cannot afford that right now. Like, that's an issue. Like, our uranium problem is going to actually cause us not to be able to build these stations. We have the boronite capability just fine. It's just the uranium. Terraforming modules cost uranium and boronite, and to get uranium and boronite, we're going to need uranium deposits. And to get uranium deposits, if we have a look at current minerals, uranium, there are a few comets we could definitely look at possibly for uranium income, and I'm actually, I'm thinking of actually doing that because we're going to need a Vesta, which is not a comet, that's a dwarf planet. We could definitely think about grabbing. Where is Vesta? Vesta. Should be near Ceres. Shouldn't we near it? I can't see Vesta. Vesta is near Ceres. Is it down here in this list? Vesta. Yeah, I can't really find it. Let me have a look. Vesta. Let's look at uranium deposits. 100,000, 10,000, 100. Vesta, let's make a colony there, please. And I am going to start production of automated mines. We already have 80. Okay, that's very good. We can actually start moving those immediately. We don't have any mass drivers, though. That is unfortunate. So let's grab our automated mines. So there we go. Move them over to Vesta, and let's get our uranium situation sorted out for us as quickly as possible. Put in an order for 9 of those. Move those over there. That'll take 155 days. Why am I in the galaxy map? There we go. I'm going to temporarily bring this down, and I'm going to have mass drivers be made immediately because we're going to need them if we are going to actually do stuff. So, yeah. Vesta, we'll get our stuff moved over to Vesta. There's Vesta. Hello. Okay, so that's better fire control range. Good. Yeah, bringing back all that lovely fuel here, which is really nice to see. And so we should have hopefully very soon. It takes about 150 days total here, so it's about 70 days back and forth to unload and load all of those mines. Good. So Vesta, it now has plenty of mines. We need to assign a mining governor. There we go. And so now we'll be producing some more of these resources, and that'll give us a little bit more uranium to play with. Now we need to grab a mass driver. Let's grab max 1, send that over to Vesta, and then we're going to refuel at Earth. There we go. So now we can start sending all of these lovely resources back to Earth. Okay. Okay, refueling over here. All looks looking good. How is research coming along? We'll have max squadron jump size pretty soon. Yeah, looks looking good. We're going to get our engine tech up if we are actually going to get that survey frigate designed and prepared. I'm not really too concerned about going to ion or improved nuclear pulse just yet. Because we just need to get exploration done. One thing that I do want to get on the way, though, is going to be a jump stabilization module so that we can actually, leave with civilian stuff. So I'm going to actually reduce laboratories given to this, and I'm going to add them to here just to get that work done immediately as possible. We want to spread this out so that we have a good amount of labs for each. I'm just going to make sure that we have the best scientists possible, because bonuses at low research rates matter immensely. So yeah, let's have a look at damaged defensive systems. Yeah, we also have a better person for defensive systems. It's all those academies we built. They were able to get much better people for this. Do we have anyone better for sensors and fire controls? We have a 30%, and this is a 40% guy, so looking good. Let's check Aurora electrons, make sure everything is looking dandy. That'll be done in 40 years. We'll have those mass drives done in 400 or 48 days. My bad, 400. 2000 days. Those research facilities will be done somewhat soon. Warnings, low morale crew. That'll look fine to me. Yeah, everything looks completely fine. So let's continue incrementing days by just to start. We've already gone another 5 years into this. Our economy is looking really, really great right now. We're making 931 income. A lot of this is from civilian mining, shipping, trade goods, all of that are great stuff. How is our uranium situation doing? Okay, we're actually getting a stockpile again. Mines are being made and produced, so that is nice to see. Did one of our guys die? No, we completely researched into max jump drive technology. So I'm going to go for this, and that'll take us 4 years. But when we're designing a survey vessel, the jump drive is really going to be the big thing, and that's the problem. So we want to make sure that we have a somewhat efficient jump drive before we start sending crews across the galaxy. So let's actually start designing our survey vessel. So Cornwall. No, I want to name it something better than that. We got a bunch of province names and stuff. Let's name it Frontier Wayfarer. Let's just call it something very generic. Explorer Class Survey Frigate. And we're going to, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some engines. I'm going to go for, so let's aim for 8,000 tons. That means that we have a total of 2,005. No, we have yeah, let's say we want to do, yeah, how big are these engines? 1,000 tons? Okay. And I want to do like a 80% power, because like look at the difference in fuel liters. Like that halves the fuel actually required. So we're gonna do one of those, and I'm gonna go for a so 2,500 tons. I'll name it if it works out. We're gonna add that engine in. 2 of those, that gives us 3,000 tons to play with. That fuel efficiency is pretty decent. Speed should be also pretty decent. I'm going to give these a 7-year mission. We'll do a 7-year. We may need to retract that. Make sure we add a science department. I would like a main engineering, but we don't really have that just yet. Now, in terms of gravitational and survey sensors, I'm going to add 2 each. 255, that's 1,000 tons. So that gives us another 3,000 tons of the jump drive and the fuel. So I'm going to add in another fuel. I'm going to add in 750,000 liters of fuel. We're going to add in some engineering spaces. There we go. Now, that is going to reduce dramatically once we actually design our jump drive. So I'm going to use the show next feature to see next level. So we want a 30 HS, 7,500, but I want a 35. No, that's... Give me 8,000 tons, please. Thank you. So that'll be 1,008. That's actually not that big. That's actually decent. So I'm going to prototype that design. and we're going to add in the jump drive. There we go. So that still gives us quite a bit to play with here. We have a range of 62 billion kilometers. Everything's looking okay with that. We do need to add some sensors in. I don't think we're going to be able to realistically get a maintenance life that will be 72 years. So I'm going to put in 48 months or 4 years. That'll save us on some speed and also like that. The top speed's not the best. It's going to be about 2,000 kilometers per second. Obviously that's pretty slow, but it's going to be it's fuel efficiency that I'm really after, because they're going to be traveling long distances, surveying, and then we're not really going to spend much of their time. Most of the time they're going to be spending is going to be survey point related, because obviously we'll reduce the survey speed. So these generate only 0.2 each, right? So very little when you actually think about it. That's why the science department's so good, because the science officer provides his full survey bonus to the ship. Now we're going to need to design some sensors. So I'm going to design a very small anti-missile sensor. And now the question is, why the hell would you do that? This ship doesn't have any weapons. The reason we're going to do this is because I want to know, if we do get shot at, what the hell kind of missiles we're going to be going up against. So I'm going to prototype that design, and then I'm going to add in a thermal and passive sensors. So we have around 700 tons to play with, so that'll be 50 tons. So I'm going to add in some 2.5. Let's do 400 tons worth of sensors. So this will be our thermal. And then let's go for our electromagnetic sensor. These will be useful for detecting populations and ship signatures and all that stuff, while not being detectable ourselves. So let's add both of those in. And let's add in our active sensor. And then I'm going to use the rest of the stuff to add in fuel, because fuel is always important. So that gives us a range of... Oh no, adding a large by mistake. We're going to add in some fighter fuel storage here. That gives us a range of 68.2 billion kilometers, or 394 days at full power worth of fuel. Our speed is 2,000 kilometers per second, and we have a jump drive properly assigned. Everything is this design looks good, but obviously we're going to need to get all the stuff prototyped and designed. So that's what I'm going to do. This is a future prototype, so we can't actually research it now. So we have to wait until we get jump drive efficiency. But we can get all of the engines and other stuff that we will need to be able to build this ship. It's decently expensive at 1,000 build points, but I am honestly not too concerned. Now, one thing we actually want to consider is we could use a commercial jump drive. Let's have a look at that, because a commercial jump drive, if you have a look at the costs, right? So a 32 size military jump drive costs, 125 BP. Okay. Now a commercial jump drive, at let's say, what's this? 4, 5. Let's show future tech. Commercial jump drive, and we'll go for a self jump drive. If we look at this, 4.5. So yeah, 4.5. That now obviously that's going to be heavier, but it costs a tenth as much, and it's going to reduce the maintenance significantly. So let's prototype that and see how much better. Now, the problem with that, though, is we would need to use commercial engines. And to do that, we would need very big engines. So I'm not sure this would actually... Yeah, this wouldn't actually work for us. So, because even though these engines are very fuel efficient, they're not commercial. And because they're not commercial, we're not going to be able to use a commercial jump drive with them. So we're just going to hold out for this design here, and I think that's pretty good for what we're going to be using for exploration. Obviously, we can start upgrading it later on, but that'll work for us indeed. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to actually leave the episode off. I hope you all have enjoyed the episode. Not really much happened. We're starting to design our exploration vessel for extra solar system stuff. We continued our exploitation of the solar system. We moved mines around, we continued our research. We did some overviews and stuff like that. We passed through 5 years of time, so we're doing about 5 years an episode, which I think is pretty good. And yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. And this is Ace. Bye bye.